Vallahi oturduğum dakikalardır şu canlı yayının başlamasını bekliyorum. Kaydımı da açtım. Hatta beklerken çayım soğumasın diye çayımı bile yudumladım, bitirdim. Ve Harry Potter evreninde geçen Hogwarts Legacy'nin yeni oynanış dinamiklerinin ve yeni detaylarının paylaşılacağı canlı yayını izlemeye koyuldum. Bunu yaparken de kaydımı dediğim gibi açtım ve huzurlarınızda şimdi bu canlı yayını izliyor ve yorumluyor olacağım. Neler gösterecekler, neler anlatacaklar hiçbir fikrim yok ama içerisinde Harry Potter geçiyor olması benim içimdeki çocuğu daha da böyle nasıl diyeyim heyecanlandırıyor. Harry Potter kazağımı da giydim ve hazırım. Hadi bakalım, Hogwarts Legacy bize beklediğimiz güzel şeyleri sunsun inşallah. Şubat ayında çıkıyor oyun. Çıktığı gibi de seriyi yapacağım. Şöyle geleyim. Geçen videoda bambaşka bir abimiz vardı, şimdi bambaşka.
And from the Avalanche team we have game director Alan Tu. Hello everybody. And systems designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally just off screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Corum.
Ha, bu da oyunu oynayan abimiz. Şu an videoda gördüğümüz her şeyi bu eleman yapıyor olacak. Aha. Süpürge uçma. Aa, ne diyorsun? Karanlık sanatlara karşı savunma. Ve ihtiyaç odası.
And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts.
Which
I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world.
Renk paleti falan çok tatlı gözüküyor.
I know that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom
burada süpürgeyi çağırıp basıp gidebileceğiz mi?
There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you. And just, I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground. And
bir şey değil mi? Sadece YouTube'a çektiğim seride bir bölüm böyle dolaşırım ben etrafta.
You know, the brooms are fun for me not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, you know, we're not at the 3000 yet. We're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless.
Oğlum çok güzel gözüküyor lan hakikaten. Çok smooth bak, dönüşler, hareketlilik falan çok tatlı gözüküyor.
Is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom to go faster?
Yeah, so we have shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop.
Bir sürü süpürge alabiliyoruz. Çeşitli süpürgeler alabiliyoruz. Acaba şey falan var mı? Mesela ateş oku çok hızlı bir süpürgeydi. O minvalde mi süpürgeler olacak mı ya da Nimbus 2000 gibi?
And help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Tamam bak, süpürgelerin yükseltmeleri olacak. Onları satın alacağız. Böylelikle daha hızlı gidebileceğiz.
You can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate.
Tamam, beni mutlu ederek başladı bu video. Bu video güzel başladı hocam.
I love that mechanic encourages you to actually
Loot gözlülüğümüzde süpürgemizi geliştirmek için satın almamız gereken veya satmamız gereken ne varsa bunların üzerinde duracağız oyunda.
It is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so
evet abi, bir sürü keşfedilecek yer var. Bir sürü yere gidebileceğiz. Oha, bayağı gidiyoruz lan hala. Bayağı büyük harita dünya.
Because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to the forest and to that hamlet, or well, I don't know, that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as, and so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all.
Acaba şöyle elimizi şöyle yapınca up deyince gelecek mi süpürge yukarı? Yukarı deyince elimize yapışacak mı? Ya da süpürgemizde akıyor broom dediğimizde gelecek mi?
And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different
ya da süpürgemize bir isim verebilecek miyiz?
That wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories. how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you also notice on the mini-map, like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in. You know, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges.
Soru işaretleri var minimap'te altımda.
Each one of those icons
bir sürü şey var. Araştırılacak yer var.
And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around it.
Ben böyle detaylara çok takılıyorum. Bunları da düzgün yapsınlar.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're going to hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the...
Oha çantadan çıktı. Hermione'nin çantası gibi.
Horse.
Oha bu oyunu sipariş edenlere verilen bir hipogrifmiş. Onyx.
You can totally ride it like a ground mount and you can lift off into the air. And we try to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible, but sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions, and sometimes it just feels amazing just to be riding around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah, it really is kind of like I don't know, it's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
Wow, çok iyiymiş.
And oh my god, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area.
Wow,
but, like, can you go to like entire map
işte.
anywhere you go? There are regions that are like locked from you.
Yeah, as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned, the swamp. But
seviye olarak bizden yüksekler var.
Coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you.
Ya şu kıyafette sallama detayları falan çok hoşuma gitti.
So cool. I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic.
Hakikaten
like
şimdi Harry Potter dünyasında kitaptan anlatılan ve filmden gördüğümüz kadarıyla dünyaya hakimiz biraz. Ama 1800'lerdeki Harry Potter, yani çok geçmişteki bir Harry Potter evrenine, Hogwarts'a hakim değiliz. Bir hayal gücünü görüyor olacağız burada. O dönemlerin anlatışı. Arkada eleman bölüm ayarlıyor şu anda. Onu bekliyorlar. Hoppa. Oha. Tamam lan sen de bokunu çıkarma.
It looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely.
Bu arada oyunda
oh my god, does it have
mevsim değişiyor olacak arkadaşlar. Hani burada eleman arka planda değiştirdi, hemen zamanı hızlandırdı da.
Or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you'll see kind of like the title card winter, and now the landscape has changed, and you're really feeling those passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at Hogwarts. And I think we wanted to duplicate that.
Oğlum,
and
iyi
for me, it's really fun that it's not just
İhtiyacımız var bizim böyle bir Harry Potter oyununa.
Which I agree. I think it looks really beautiful.
FPS kamera olsa lan bir de keşke Hippogriff'te. FPS kamera olsa çok güzel olur.
Things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays, and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change.
Kış gelince okuldaki dekorasyonlar falan değişecekmiş. Çevredeki dekorasyonlar falan.
And it's not just for the seasons.
Mesela Noel dönemi gördüğünde ona göre olacak her şey.
like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's
Mesleğin değişebildiği gibi tabii ki gece gündüz de değişiyor oyunda. Bir de şeyi güzel ya, oyunda yükleme ekranı yok. O çok güzel.
There's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where, you know, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them with that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
Ben o 100 bölüm çekerim, 50 bölüm uçarım.
Flying up here really high up on the hippogriff. And we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my... I still can't get over...
Görebildiğin her yere yani. Uzak da olsa gidebiliyorsun ya oyunda. Çok iyi.
I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, you know, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room.
Fantastik canavarlardan başlayarak Harry Potter izleyeceğiz, belli oldu.
One space is still exciting to me after all this
I mean, I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just, oh my God.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat.
Çok güzel gözüküyor.
Süzülme, gezme. An intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena.
Karanlık Sanatlar Savaş Arenası. Hadi bakalım.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is. Which is part of the deluxe and digital deluxe edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated. I love the way that is, which is part of the deluxe and digital deluxe edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually
bunu ayrı standart sürüm oyunu aldıysanız şu an gösterilen kısmı ayrıca satın alabilecek misiniz?
Choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
Ben Deluxe'unu aldıydım valla.
Exactly. There are many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack from the deluxe and digital deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
Thestral. Bunu sadece ölümü görenler görebiliyordu ya.
But I like this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to
bunlar kesin
really
oyun
play around
çıktıktan sonra
with
Quidditch satacaklar ya.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice?
Yeah, so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves in order to earn a different cosmetic for your
Ama ben şeyi sevmedim oğlum. Her sürüme koysanıza niye savaş alanını parayla satıyorsunuz? Öyle şey mi olur? Yani standart sürümde 2 tane savaş alanı var. Ama onun dışında daha başka savaş alanları istersen böyle satın alman gerekiyor.
One of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their
repertoire. Avada Kedavra'yı falan göreceğiz şimdi.
Down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like
burası tüm büyülerin açık olduğu yer gibi bir yer aslında. Ana hikayede ilerledikçe büyülerin hepsini kontrol edebileceksin. Öğrendiğin kadarıyla. Ama burası hani şey gibi. Valorant test arenası gibi. Her şeyi deneyebiliyorsun. Silah sende açık olsun olmasın.
So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start.
Dalga düşman geliyor. Burada onları indiriyorsun.
Talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
Oy. Koydu Avada Kedavra'yı.
Avada Kedavra's right away. Oh my God.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my God.
Crucio.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away.
İmperyum yaptı onda da. İmperyum yaptı bak etki altına aldı. Düşmana saldırıyor. Düşmana saldırıyor. Çok iyi.
Even in some pretty extreme situations.
Çak bir Avada Kedavra daha hocam.
Like the meter takes up a lot longer to kind of build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you just have questions about.
Well, like I see like little blue things popping from the enemies. Also,
güzel olmuş işareti.
Like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. And I don't know
Büyülerin
if that's how
işaretleri
it's
çok güzel olmuş, çok anlamlı olmuş.
in the game.
Crucio işkenceye mesela eline çivi batıyor simgesi yapmışlar. Diğeri gözlerini örtüyor, hani gerçeği görmesini engelliyor. Etki altına alıyor Imperio. Havadaki kedavra zaten ölüm. Oha, güzel olmuş.
You start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's
oğlum çok güzel lan. Ben bu arada 90, 34, 41 diye damage numaraları çıkıyor ya. Onları kapatırım oynarken. En sinir olduğum şeydir. Oyunda düşmanlarda böyle şeylerin gözükmesi.
A very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell to do a ton of damage against the character. And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of
geçen videoda da söyledim, bunda da söylüyorum. Büyü yaparken 3-5 tane hareket var, hep onu yapıyor büyü animasyonu olarak. Ya bunlara bir yenilik getirsin, bunlar çeşitliliği olsun ya. Bak Crucio yaparken hep aynı animasyon. Havada kedavra yaparken aynı animasyon. Biraz bunların farklılığı olsun.
One of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to. Is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing.
Büyük kombosu yapma muhabbeti güzel olmuş.
And then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world. And there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the room of requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, he's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from one.
Wow, çok iyi lan.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill,
20'lik düşman Avada Kedavra tek atacak mı?
Is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right.
Oha güzel. Güzel.
There's so much like
Şuna çak bak. Avada Kedavra'nın bunu tekte alması lazım.
The troll right now, like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not. And the troll makes him move around too, looks like.
And I love
Kaç level üstünde olursa olsun fark etmez.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about
biter abi.
almost the setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret that just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream. And the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to be, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
that's right,
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage.
Üstün körü yapmamışlar. Her şeyi aslında sistemleri birbirine bağlayarak yapmaya çalışmış oyun sistemlerini. Bu güzel ya. Üstün körü bir oyun yok ortada, onu söyleyeyim. Üstün körü bir oyun değil bu. O güzel.
And so, oh my God, there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against dark arts character, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool, because like it's like I see so much like going on the stream, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but that ancient magic,
karanlık sanatlar bence de antik büyüler. Yani karanlık büyüler, havadaki anahtar falan, bunları çabuk öğrenmek lazım hocam. Şey olsun ya, gidiyorum, bir arkadan laf attı, okulda çakayım birisini havadaki kedavrayı, yatırayım aşağı. Okuldan atılalım falan.
Also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the room of requirement. Wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that the space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours.
Oh my God, what?
Oha, çok iyiymiş lan.
We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
Akıcılığına bak.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So
Sims oynamak gibi lan bu.
There's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my God! Because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also, as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
That's so cool. And you change color?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my God, it's so tiny. It's like for baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed, it's not mechanical, it's immersive. And so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character.
Ya da sandalye haline getireceksin. Yani sandalyeyi böyle küçülteceksin. Birine saplayacaksın. Dövüş sırasında. Diyeceksin ki sandalyeyi sana sokarım bak. Adamın asabını bozma.
I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful. And that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really nice, because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. We really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you conjure things and you can change their
Şu detaylar çok hoşuma gitti. Yapmak zorunda değillerdi ama oturup uğraşıp bunu da yapmışlar yani. Kendine özel bir alan oluştur. Herkesten farklı bir yerin olsun. İhtiyaç odasıdır ya. Senle benim ihtiyacımız farklı olabilir. Bunu çok güzel vurgulamışlar.
Right.
So while you're also doing these kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified, and gear to have
ya da sen tüm kalabalığı bir yere toplayacaksın, gerisi bomboş kalsın isteyeceksin.
We keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to. But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure, and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard. And so
there's a huge list.
and not all the time.
God of War'da taşlar vardı, hatırlar mısınız? Onları kullandık mı bir şeylere karşı dayanıklılığımız, direncimiz artıyordu.
And so there is a station inside of the room of requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Dışarıdan bir şey keşfettin dünyada, ne olduğunu bilmiyorsun. Buraya getiriyorsun, sana onun ne olduğunu ve ne işe yaradığını söylüyor. Oha.
Recipes, you know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding, and as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
Oyunda örümcek mi var ya?
And like you can just put some ability to the sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep. And the appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, moonca fur. What is that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivario. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a grapthorn
fantastik canavarlara vurgu var burada da.
And a Kneasel as well. So quite a variety.
Oh my God, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
cuddling. Oh my God, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients.
Burada fantastik canavarlar vurgusu, etkisi. Çok güzel.
That can then be used in your
geliyor burada hayvanlarını falan besliyorsun lan.
Intuitive, because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers.
Acaba şey var mı içinde altınları falan? Tüm gümüşler altınlar.
We really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beast. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness, no, this is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have this little play area.
Harbi oyun içinde oyun gibi ha.
Fish tank, so to say. Just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beasts in the space to automatically get feed. So you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can play with your beasts. You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toys. So as you can imagine, the moon calf really likes the moon ball, or the Kneasel as like a little cat really likes to chase the yarn ball as well. And they're super cute.
Moonball şeyi hatırlarsınız. Ridiculous büyüsüyle
And the big thing I really want to hammer home is that
oynuyor.
the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my God, this raphorn is just gigantic. But he looks like my dog. My dog's right now for sure.
Oh, you could actually name them as well. So like your
Onlara
dog.
isim verebiliyormuşuz bak.
So getting back into that personalization, you know,
Hayvanlara
yeah,
isim
we didn't want you to just
verebiliyoruz.
like
Canlılara
throw
isim
in,
verebiliyoruz.
oh, here's a graphorn in here. Like this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them.
Bruce.
That's a good name.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct, to different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivariums. So as you can see, this one's quite meadow themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect and more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those.
Sims gibi olmuş
When we're
oyun burası
inside the
valla.
requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going
Bir
on.
şey
in the
diyeceğim.
right.
O ağacı dışarıdan mı aldı getirdi?
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the requirement, there's like on the left, there's that
Hattın dışındaki bir ağacı mı alıp geldi
glow
diyecektim.
from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to this same kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
everything connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world. Forageables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative. So, you know, you bringing up Poppy, there are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen
Vay
today?
be. Güzeldi.
I'm
Geçenkini de
so
beğenmiştim.
blown away by
Bu da
how
güzeldi. Bir iki bir
how
şeyim var
beautiful
gene
it looks. The
söyleyeceğim.
open world seems so detailed and there's so many things to do, and like the combat, we're gonna
Sims
spend
gibi.
like
Hayır,
2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're going to wrap things up,
72 saat. O 3 gün önceden de oynama şansı olacak.
Bye.
Şey ne dedi?
First we've got a little surprise for you.
Küçük bir sürprizimiz vardı. Dur bakayım. Hayda. Tom Riddler'ın kitabı gibi, güncesi gibi içine girdi lan. Merak ettiriyor eşşoğlu eşekler ya. Vallahi merak ettiriyorlar ya. Evet vallahi arkadaşlar. Yani uzun lafın kısası, ben gördüğüm şeyi beğendim. Onu bir söyleyeyim. Benim gördüğüm şeyler hoşuma gitti. Ama şunu da belirtmek isterim. Hemen ona da geleceğim. Dediğim gibi combat tarafı var ya, düşmanla savaştığımız kısım. Orada düşmana büyü yaparken hep aynı animasyonları kullanıyormuş gibi geldi bana. O biraz kolaylığa kaçmak gibi oldu ama belki değişiyordur. Yani oyunun o raddesinde öyledir belki, bilmiyorum. Ama süpürgeyle uçmak, işte ihtiyaç odasını dizayn edebilmek, hayvanları veya keşfettiğimiz şeyleri oraya getirip onları tanımlayabilmek, onları besleyebilmek, onlara bakabilmek, geliştirebilmek çok güzel. Yani kendi ortamını Sims oynarcasına düzenleyebilmek çok güzel. Dövüş sistemi çok güzel gözüküyor. Ya oyun genel anlamda çok güzel gözüküyor. İnşallah içi, hikayesi de dolu dolu, dünyası da dolu dolu bir oyun olur ve gerçekten beklediğimize değer. Sizin yorumlarınızı, fikirlerinizi de merak ediyorum açıkçası. Lütfen yorumlar kısmına belirtmeyi ihmal etmeyin. Bu adamlar şimdi Quidditch'i bu oyunda getirmiyorlar diye biliyoruz ama kesin Quidditch'i sonra bunlar satarlar. Bak demedi demeyin. Arena satıyorlarsa, Deluxe Edition alana arena var ama Standard Edition aldıysanız da dert yok. İsterseniz yanında arenayı da alabilirsiniz falan filan diye ayrıca. Bunu diyenler Quidditch'i, büyücü satrancını vesaire getirirler. Ama şu süpürge detayları, süpürgeyi farklılaştırabiliyor oluşumuz, süpürgeler satın alabiliyor oluşumuz, onları geliştiriyor oluşumuz, çevrede böyle işte gidip etkileşimlere geçiyor oluşumuz çok güzel. Grafikler çok güzel gözüküyor. Renk paleti çok hoşuma gitti. Mevsim değişimindeki görüntüler falan çok güzeldi. Hoş, yani umarım 10 Şubat 2023'te oyunu deneyimlediğimizde, hatta 10 Şubat bile değil, işte 7 Şubat 6-7 Şubat gibi sizlere seriyi sunmaya başladığımda, ambargosu kalktığında keyifli bir oyun bizleri bekliyor olur diye umut ediyorum. Uzun bir seri olacağı kesin. Hikayesi de güzel olursa tadından yenmez. Yorumlarınızı eksik etmeyin. Merakla bekliyorum. Fikirleriniz benim için kıymetli. Bir sonraki videoda görüşünceye dek hoşçakalın efendim. Sağlıcakla kalın. Harry Potter'sız kalmayın. En azından kitaplarını bir deneyin dedim. Hani filmlerini ya beğenmiyor olabilirsiniz ama kitaplarını bir deneyin. Bence seveceksiniz. Harry Potter sevilir ya. Sevin Harry Potter'ı.